Hi everybody, and welcome to All Things AIRGUN. I'm Donnie Reed. Today I'm going to do the full review of the GAMO Urban 22 caliber made in the UK PCP air rifle. Please forgive mine. It's not very pretty. I haven't cleaned it. Well, first of all, I use it nearly every day, and it's got some dirt and fingerprints and stuff on it, and I literally just quit shooting it, and I'm going to shoot it again in a minute, and then I'll wipe it off, you know. But I got tape on my flashlight here to hold green filters on. It's not very attractive, but please forgive that. This rifle is incredible. When it comes to an entry-level budget PCP, if what you want is outstanding accuracy, I don't think you can do better than this. The results that I'm getting with 50-yard testing are absurdly good. The 18 grain JSB is its favorite pellet, and I have some video for you of both sorted groups and unsorted groups, and needless to say, there is a difference, but regardless, the accuracy that I'm getting out of this, and when I say sorted pellets, I mean sorted for weight and overall appearance and construction. They're not washed or lubed or anything. They're just weighed and inspected. Every last tin of JSB pellets I've ever received has had defective pellets, bent skirts, and some more than others, but they need sorted. And like I said, I have some groups of both. From now on, I'm sorting my pellets. There's just no reason not to. I've tested, and the results are astounding. I suggest you also sort yours, at least, you know, to some degree, to some level. But now I'm gonna show you groups, but first let's talk about the overall rifle itself. It is a very short, very light, very handy rifle. You can easily you know, carry this around, shoulder it with one hand. It reminds me of an M4 carbine. It really is handy and comfy. The weight is very low. You can look up the specs. I'm not going to sit here and tell you all the specs on this rifle. You can look that up on Pyramid Air or wherever. But this rifle is still bone stock. And the moderator, the Whisper Maxim, I believe it's called, silencer, does a fair job. This is throwing 18 grain JSBs around 24 foot-pounds, a little more maybe. And you know, it's not obnoxiously loud, but it's not whisper quiet either. It's acceptable, but not perfection. The Reservoir charges to 3,365 PSI max. I only fill it to about 2,900 PSI, 3,000, you know, tops, somewhere in there. And I've cut my strings down to 20 shots with a ridiculously small spread, and very consistent results, just absurdly good. And that 20 shot string You know, I would take a shot at an animal with great confidence anywhere in that string, but you can stretch it out to over 30 shots if you want to. I've gotten, you know, 33. I think I got 34 one time. But you know, it's not a giant shot count rifle. That's not where it's at with this. This is a hammer forged BSA barrel, and that has to have a lot to do with the accuracy of this rifle. It is absurd, and you'll see that shortly. The barrel is short. I forget, I think it's like 15 and some inches, maybe, something like that. And the rest is just that Whisper Maxim silencer. But the barrel is just incredible in this rifle. The action itself is a closed action, meaning that the magazine is encased completely by the action when it's inserted, unlike some of them. A lot of them actually are split, so you have a constant full-length 11-meter dovetail rail, and you know, it's easy to mount a scope on it. My complaint about the scope issue is that the silencer is huge, so with these rings I have right now, which are low or mediums, I do get some interference with the silencer. However, with high rings, it's a bit uncomfy for me. It doesn't have an adjustable comb, so you're kind of stuck with what you got unless you want to put a pad or something on it. And I may do that in the future, but just be aware, with low rings, you will probably see some of the silencer in your field of view. The trigger isn't terrible. It's it's a two-stage trigger. It's fully adjustable. It's their Quattro trigger, or wait, not Quattro. What is it? CAT, custom action trigger. And it is a plastic shoe, which doesn't bother me. I'm probably going to upgrade the trigger to the GRT4, the Charlie DeTuna trigger, eventually, but for right now, this is acceptable, and I'm actually going to do a bit of a trigger job now that the review is done. I wanted to keep it in stock form for the review, but it's not terrible. It adjusts down to a very, well, not very, but an acceptably light pull. The second stage is a bit long for my taste. There's a bit of travel, and it's not absurd or anything, but it's not perfect either. I like a long, easy first stage, a solid wall, and then a you know, just a breath of extra force to break the glass rod, and that's that. But that's not what this is, I'll tell you that now. It will be when I'm done, though, I'm sure. But I have a center point 4-16 by 40 millimeter adjustable objective illuminated reticle scope on here, and it does a good job. You know, it's not a high dollar scope, but it does a good job. And I honestly, if I do go with the high rings, I might get something with a bigger objective for gathering more light at night, and you know, have to deal with a pad or something on the comb that raise it up. But the rifle is what it says. It is an urban type of air rifle. You can use this in an urban, suburban environment without disturbing anybody. It doesn't sound like a rifle shot or anything when you shoot it. Despite however loud the noise may be, it sounds nothing like an air rifle or any kind of rifle. And the power level is, you know, acceptable. It's good. It's about 24 foot-pound at the muzzle with JSB 18s. I think a little more with H&N Hornet. I'll show you the pellets I tested and everything. But let's get into the outstanding feature of this rifle, which, again, it's constructed well. It feels fantastic. It's super comfy. It's light. I have no complaints about anything at all, except that maybe it's a little louder than that giant silencer would lead you to believe. It has a 10-shot rotary magazine. That's perfectly awesome. It's a little sticky. It has never malfunctioned, ever. It will take H&N Hornet pellets too, by the way. But it's never malfunctioned, but it is a little sticky sometimes. The timing of the little revolving cylinder isn't exactly perfect with the windows, you know, so but it's nothing, you know, nothing to really even mention. But oh, the price of the extra magazines is a bit high. It's 50 bucks anywhere I look for an extra magazine, and you know, that's a bit high. What else? Oh, one of the best things about it is this green band around the stock is just an O-ring, and it comes right off. I hated that. But anyway, let's get to these groups. That was impressive. So now we'll fast forward to several, actually I think a couple months later. That's the time that has elapsed since I recorded that shooting, and this new shooting, these new clips you're going to watch. This first group is with sorted 18 grain JSBs, and this is a pre-sighting. I was sighting this in for 50 yards after doing some adjusting and things, but again, this is 50 yards. 4 shots using sorted JSB 18.13 grain pellets. This group was just to see where they were hitting before I clicked anything. There you go. How about that? 0.24, what, 2.243 inches, less than a quarter of an inch center to center at 50 yards. Now this next group, this was after I had played with the scope. I had adjusted it, and I think it was still settling in a smidge. But this is a 6-shot group, again using the sorted JSB 18.13 grain pellets. Okay, That's 6 shots with a scope that's still a little wonky. Again, just a smidge over a 1/2 of an inch, and you have to give some forgiveness to me. You know, I'm not perfect, but this next group, this was after I was satisfied with the adjustment and I felt it had settled. This is the group of the night. This is a 3-shot group, and again using sorted JSB 18.13 grain pellets. There you go. I didn't even measure that. What's the center to center there? A fraction of a millimeter. You know what I mean? That was basically pellet on pellet, and at 50 yards. And you have to consider, I'm warming up as this shooting happens. You know, the scope's being adjusted as this shooting has happened through this. And but in the end, I'll tell you right now that if you do your part and you sort your pellets, this is a 1/4 inch group gun at 50 yards. This is superbly accurate. I don't know if I got a good one or what. I wanted to do some more recording, get you some 5 and 10 shot 50-yard groups, recent new ones, but I have to get this review out, and I think the point has been made. This GAMO Urban is absurdly accurate. I haven't seen those kinds of groups out of a stock entry-level PCP anywhere. Not any of them. Not the Gauntlet, not the Flash, none of them. Not any of them. None of them. What other ones are there? You know, well, it doesn't matter. But any entry-level budget PCP. Now this thing sells for $300 at full price on most online outlets. The best place has been Walmart, though they seem to have discontinued it. They were as low as $174 back around Christmas. Commonly like $250 something, $270 something, but you can still get these for less than $300, and you should. I'm not kidding. The low shot count might turn some people off, but I hand pump this and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. It's not hard. It's worth it. You know, if you had a tank, my word, what, you know, I don't know why you'd buy anything else. But again, I can't recommend this highly enough. And you guys know I'm not sponsored. I'm not, you know, getting paid for any of this or anything like that. I'm telling you the truth. This is my real, true opinion of this product. And for me to suggest you buy one is the highest praise I can give, because I don't say that lightly. This is an outstanding product that for me performs outstanding and better than you know, others in the same league and price range, at least in the hands of other people. Now, I haven't personally tested a Gauntlet or any of the other entry-level stuff, but I haven't seen anybody get these kind of results. So if you're a comparison shopper, you be the judge. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more stuff like it. Thank you.